Tonight on Student News at 7, why your street parking rates are on the rise. Plus, it's time to hang up the phone and hit the brakes. How a new law is affecting drivers. But first, how a nonprofit is reacting to a controversial new abortion bill.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Hello, welcome to Student News at 7. I'm Gabrielle Cassini.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Abby Tam.
A controversial bill was proposed in the Senate last week, and some local nonprofits aren't happy. Here now on the scene is SGTV's Delaney Flanagan. Delaney?
Yeah, that's right, Abby. I'm right outside the State House right now, where the Unborn Child Protection Act was just proposed a few days ago in the Senate.
Last Thursday, Senator Richard Cash from Anderson reintroduced the bill that would ban abortions almost entirely in South Carolina. Under the Unborn Child Protection Act, exceptions for rape or incest would be slashed, only allowing abortion when the mother's life is in danger.
The buck stops here with the General Assembly. Not depending on what the Supreme Court anymore says, it's dependent upon what we collectively as a body say.
A 2024 Winthrop University poll found 84% of South Carolinians believe women should have access to abortion if her life is in danger, and 81% of South Carolinians support abortion in cases of rape. Nonprofits like the Palmetto State Abortion Fund are trying to fight against this bill.
To me, what that says is that in South Carolina and in the South overall, abortion bans are not popular. People being able to have the freedom to seek health care, whether it's abortion care or whatever, is something that's really important to folks.
The bill is currently in committee with Medical Affairs, but SGTV will keep you updated. Back to you, Abby.
Thanks, Delaney. Last week on Student News at 7, SGTV reported on South Carolina's high flu rates. This week, the SC Department of Public Health's Flu Watch has more urgent updates for the final few weeks of flu season. Reports of influenza-like illness and hospitalizations have risen across the state since last week's report. The latest data also shows that South Carolina has recorded 67 flu-related deaths this season, with 11 of them in the Midlands. As a precautionary measure, Prisma Health is restricting children under the age of 16 to visit patients in the hospital. Hospital officials have also asked that community members not visit if they have a fever, tested positive for any respiratory illness, or are suspected of having one. Looking nationally, last week the CDC reported that South Carolina and New Jersey were among the highest states for influenza-like illness. Now, 8 states join them, along with New York City. Back in Columbia, if you're looking to get the flu shot, USC students, faculty, and staff can schedule an appointment at the University Health Center.
Looking at a national issue that has impact on campus, this past month, the Trump administration announced they are freezing all federal aid grants, suspending financial aid programs, which might conflict with the 2025 FAFSA application. The order does not specify which programs are going to be affected. However, the Department of Education is a likely target, as several of its employees were put on leave during President Trump's first term. USC economics professor Lewis Miller states the potential risks that this could have for USC students.
I mean, not only thinking about, like current high school students who are thinking about going to college, it could affect them, but it could also affect current like USC students, because maybe they rely on that aid to stay enrolled. And so it might actually lead to some students dropping out, or even if they don't drop out, they might have to pick up a job while they're in school, which can hurt their performance in school. And yeah, there's a lot of kind of potential negative consequences.
The Federal Student Aid Office says in a statement on their website, quote, "We continue to award and disperse federal student aid. SGTV will continue to follow the story and keep you updated."
Moving on to local government, if you've ever checked your phone while stopped at a red light in South Carolina, you could soon be breaking the law. A bill moving through the SC House of Representatives could establish a hands-free driving law. Current SC law only bans texting and driving. This bill aims to expand that and would ban holding a phone for any reason behind the wheel. This means no checking your phone at stoplights, no holding it while driving, and no making calls with a device in your hand. Hands-free calls and voice-to-text would still be allowed. If violated, offenders would face a $100 fine, and if repeated, fines will go up to $200. Prison time and more serious penalties could apply if an offender kills or injures another person. The most recent reports from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration report that a little over 3,000 people died from distracted driving in 2022. And the Governor's Highway Association reports 29 states already have a variation of a hands-free law in place.
Also in Columbia, some updates to the William Brice Stadium. The ongoing plans to re-image Willie B have received approval from the state of South Carolina's Legislators' Joint Bond Review Committee and the State Fiscal Accountability Authority to begin Phase 1 renovations. Renovations for Phase 1 entail beginning schematic design ideas and cost estimations. USC Director of Athletics Jeremiah Donati says that he's grateful for everyone's diligence, saying that this project will, quote, amplify our national profile and serve as a point of pride for the university.
Moving a few blocks north of Willie B, new parking meters are coming to Columbia's Main Street. Just this morning, construction of 12 new T2 Cosmo parking stations began. These new pay stations will be placed between the 1700 block of Main Street near Laurel Street and to the 1200 block near Gervais Street. This update comes just a few months after the city's plans to raise parking fees downtown. Right now, it costs 75 cents per hour to park in downtown Columbia. Come March, that price will go up to $1.50. This is the first parking price increase in Columbia in 20 years. And this increase isn't the only change coming. Paying hours will also expand. Currently, paying hours are now from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They will now increase by 1 hour, ending at 7 p.m. Parking fees are also rising from $8 to $25. With these many changes, the city plans to raise money to further improve parking initiatives in the city.
Seasonal affective disorder, also known as SAD, affects thousands of people around the world, and college students are not immune to it. I spoke to Associate Director for Mental Health Education, Nikki Bowie, earlier about seasonal depression and how to treat it.
There have been studies that have been shown that, sunlight affects the mood of people, like the serotonin levels.
According to Bowie, some ways seasonal affective disorder manifests within college students can include academic stress, lack of structure in their routines, irregular sleep patterns, and mood changes. USC takes mental health seriously on campus, providing several resources to combat seasonal depression. Bowie mentions reading a book, going for a walk, or even opening your blinds is helpful for some sunlight. The online therapy system used at USC, TAO, is also there for students to watch modules and meet with online therapists at their leisure. For more mental health resources, visit sc.edu and search Student Health and Wellbeing.
After the break, SGTV Entertainment has the story on a dance performance that you will not want to miss. Stay close.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Katherine Naronis.
And I'm Duncan Maloney. Here's your weekly entertainment news.
USC's own Betsy Blackman Dance Company has been hard at work preparing for their spring concert. The dancers will be performing works by USC faculty at Drayton Hall Theater this weekend, Thursday through Saturday. You can find tickets at sc.universitytickets.com. Gamecock Entertainment hosted a drive-in movie at Gamecock Park for this week's Thursday After Dark event. Students got cozy with blankets and snacks to watch Grease from the comfort of their own cars. Stay tuned for upcoming Thursday After Dark events such as axe throwing, a trampoline park, and goat yoga. Babylon Kino is Columbia's new hotspot for independent filmmakers. Owner David Axe opened the small venue over the weekend. The theater seats up to 49 people only. Local and regional filmmakers now have a space to premiere their work for a crowd of dedicated film enthusiasts.
This past weekend, the Ringling Brothers Circus took to Colonial Life Arena to put on 5 dazzling shows in just 3 days. The shows began on Friday night and featured 75 performers in the tight 2-hour window. The performers pulled off stunts such as trapeze acts, clowns, and a human cannonball. The revamped show came to the home of Gamecocks basketball for the first time in 8 years and put on 2 shows a day on Saturday and Sunday, as well as the kickoff show on Friday night. Calling all pimento cheese enthusiasts, there is a new event coming to Columbia just for you. The South Carolina Pimento Cheese Festival will host its first annual event in March, and it is being hosted right here in Soda City. The event has a wide array of activities such as cheese tastings, displays from local restaurants, and more. The state of South Carolina has a lot of connections to the origins of pimento cheese, from Columbia and the Low Country dating back to as early as the 1910s. The marquee activity of the event will be the Amateur Pimento Cheese Making Competition. The competition will be judged the week before the actual festival, with the winner being displayed at the end of the festival's proceedings. The festival will run from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, March 29th. Admission is free, but tasting will run attendees $5. A Valentine's Eve treat is available in the Thomas Cooper Library. A showing of The Great Gatsby is happening this Thursday night in the Ernest F. Halling Special Collections section of the Thomas Cooper Library. The Thomas Cooper Library has been celebrating the 100th anniversary of F. Scott Fitzgerald's American classic for the past couple of weeks, and Thursday, Baz Luhrmann's film starring Leonardo DiCaprio will be screened in the Halling Special Collections section at 6 p.m.
Millions of people tuned into the Super Bowl last night to watch the Eagles take down the Chiefs, but I'll leave the details on that to Calvin and George. Others were more captivated by the iconic halftime show and the commercials. 20-time Grammy winner Kendrick Lamar gave an energetic performance of his old and new hits, with special guests SZA, Samuel L. Jackson, Serena Williams, and DJ Mustard. The singer, special guests, and background dancers wore red, white, and blue, with Samuel L. Jackson dressed as Uncle Sam. The commercials were certainly star-studded as well, with appearances by Matt Damon, Gordon Ramsay, Aubrey Plaza, and many more notable names. USC's own women's basketball alumni, Asia Wilson, was featured in a high-paying Nike commercial alongside other female athletes. What was your favorite Super Bowl commercial?
I did like the South Carolina representation in the Nike ad. I also like the IndyCar ads, Pato Award, one-man boy band. I love that. But a lot of good commercials this Super Bowl.
Yeah, a lot of weird ones, a lot of interesting ones.
There were definitely some interesting ones.
But it was definitely cool to see USC alumni on the Super Bowl screen.
1,000%.
Well, after the break, SGTV Sports has a story on the newest Super Bowl champions.
We'll be right back with more updates on and off the field.
Welcome back to Student News at 7. I'm Calvin DeLude.
And I'm George Bagwell.
The Super Bowl was last night as the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs faced off in the biggest game of the season. While many expected a hard-fought battle in this rematch of Super Bowl 57, the Eagles quickly pulled away. 40-22 was the final score, and Jalen Hurts was crowned Super Bowl MVP.
Gamecock women's basketball fell to number 4 Texas, 66-62 in Austin on Sunday afternoon. Falling behind early after a strong start from the Longhorns, the Gamecocks did not lead at any point in the game. Texas didn't make a single three in the contest, but they won the rebounding battle, and Madison Booker scored 20 to lead the Longhorns. It was South Carolina's first regular season conference loss since 2021. The team looks to rebound against Florida at home on Thursday.
Softball season is upon us, and South Carolina opened their season on Thursday. The Gamecock Invitational was a success for new coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard. The Gamecocks went undefeated in their first 5 games with 2 walk-off wins to open the season. They get set now for a 2-game series against Georgia State.
Former Gamecocks wide receiver Sterling Sharp was recently named as one of 4 members to the 2025 NFL Hall of Fame class. Sharp's number 2 jersey is retired by the school, and he's the first South Carolina alum to be enshrined in Canton.
The Gamecock baseball season begins on Friday with a weekend series against Sacred Heart University. It's the dawn of a new era under new head coach Paul Mainieri. Mainieri is the all-time leader in wins for Division I baseball and has made 6 College World Series appearances, winning it all in 2009 with LSU. First pitch is on Friday at 4 p.m.
South Carolina men's basketball continued their slide over the weekend. Facing number 14 Kentucky on the road, the Gamecocks failed to reach 60 points for just the 2nd time this season.
We didn't make shots. We didn't have guys that performed particularly well. Not to take anything away at all from what they did.
The current 10-game streak is the Gamecocks' longest losing streak in program history. Lamont Paris's team returns home to take on Ole Miss on Wednesday night. After the break, Gabrielle fills us in on a heartfelt gift that supports the Riverbank Zoo.
Finally, tonight on Student News at 7, Riverbank Zoo in Columbia may have found the perfect Valentine's gift for your special someone. Instead of spending your money on overpriced chocolates and grocery store flowers, Riverbank Zoo is offering a unique gift for Valentine's Day this year. You can purchase a pink flamingo plush animal that comes with a personalized message inside. All proceeds will go to supporting the animals at the zoo. For more information, go to riverbankzoo.com. You know, I think that is the cutest idea. I love stuffed animals.
I agree. You know, it's really good to promote the animals at the zoo. It's for a good cause. But as much as I think this would be a really sweet gesture received on Valentine's Day, I don't know if my stuffed animal collection could handle another member of the family.
I agree. They honestly just get everywhere in my room, on the floor. It's too much. Well, that wraps up our episode for tonight. You can keep up to date on these stories and more by visiting our website and following us on our Instagram and YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Student News at 7.
We'll see you next week. From all of us at SGTV, we hope you have a good night, Gamecocks, forever to be.